What I'm doing today is fixing something that's been bothering me for a while. So this little LED ring, it's a halo ring that I had in my headlight, it stopped working for a while, and the other day I had fixed it. It's an RGB halo, so it's red, green, and blue, and I can make a whole bunch of different colors out of it. The passenger side stopped working one day, and I never got around to fixing it. I just fixed it, I got it to work, but the blue wire is no longer live. I think it's the driver that sends the electricity to the other halo ring. So I think that wire is faulty. So I had emailed the company and they sent me a new driver. They sent me a whole new ring, but then that means I have to take the headlight out and bake it again and open it and take off the old ring, but it still works. So I'm gonna try to avoid that and just install this new driver and see if I can just get away with that. So I'm gonna set up my tripod and take off this bumper. Now this thing is just loaded with pop clips. That's all that holds the bumper in is pop clips. And there's clips under the headlight and there's clips on the fender right here. Now I've removed this a bunch of times. So I bought a bag of clips on Amazon. I think it was like 15 bucks and it has like 50. They're not the best quality, but they still get the job done. There's also going to be clips here in this fender well. There's 1 and 2. I think there's supposed to be 3, but I only have 2 on each side. Now I've got wiring running all through behind this intercooler, so now I have to take that off. Might be kind of annoying, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so while I was just working under here, I was pulling off some of the electrical tape on the old connections so that I can put the new wiring harness in there. It just tore the connector, like it just tore the wiring right out of the connector. So now I'm gonna have to do some extra splicing, and that's gonna take me a little bit longer than I anticipated. Okay, so they sent me a new driver, as I showed you before. There's 4 little prongs on here, red, green, blue, and ground. I had one of these connectors plugged into the opposite end, the female end, and when I pulled the electrical tape off, because that's what I had just holding it together, because they don't stick together that well. So I taped it with electrical tape, and when I undid the tape, it just pulled the wiring right out of the connector. Now I cut this off of the other end, so I'm gonna try to splice it in and see if I can now use this connector, because the new driver is gonna now have it's gonna have all new connectors, but I think they're different. So it's gonna be really cool if they don't fit. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, I already did the other end where this is gonna connect to. I just pulled these apart. So I pulled the blue off the red off the green, and I pulled the green off the black. There's like such thing as like an automatic wiring cutter. I don't know the technology behind it, but it cuts just perfectly below the jacket of the wiring, and it leaves you with no error. But I have to be very careful with these. Let me put this light right here. I have to be very careful with these because I could just cut through the wire. That's why I gave myself plenty of length. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm just gonna connect the corresponding wires. Black to black, red to red, green to green, blue to blue, so on and so forth. And then I should have this plug working again the way it should. All I'm gonna do is there's no power going to this, so I'm not gonna get electrocuted or anything. All I'm gonna do is just connect each wire individually, twist it together, throw a thin piece of electrical tape on it, and then I'm gonna wrap the whole thing together when I'm done. Okay, just something like that. I'm not gonna tape it yet, just in case one of the connections are bad or something and I have to redo it. Untaping it and taping it over and over again gets annoying, so I'm not gonna bother with it right now. Okay, so here's some absolutely terrible news. See this connector right here? How it's just a 4 round prong connector. So when I connect these, it doesn't matter which one I use because it all goes to the same system. And that's just what I use to connect the remote to, so I can change the colors of the LEDs and whatever the hell else I need to do with it. But yeah, these 4 connectors have round prongs. The one they sent has flat prongs, so I'm not going to be able to use it. So I'm just going to ask the company for a new set or discount me for a new set or something, because I'm not gonna start cutting all the stuff, because now that it's wrong, if I cut it, I'm not gonna be able to send it back. I got them off LED Concepts, and looking at their website, I got these rings 2 years ago. The new stuff that they have is clearly significantly higher in quality. I'm assuming that's why they changed vendors, because the older stuff didn't last long. So I'm just gonna email the company and ask them for a new set and see what they can do for me. If they want me to put that new LED in, then I have to open the headlight. If I'm gonna open the headlight, I'm gonna redo the whole thing. I'll show you what I would rather do to the headlight. Okay, so this is what I have right now. That ring in there, it's nice, it works. The new stuff they have has like, I don't know how to describe it. They have a cover over the ring. So instead of you seeing each individual halo, or each individual, nice. Instead of you seeing each individual LED in there, it just looks like one whole piece. It's much sleeker looking. The lights that I did myself, I like them, they're nice, but the high beam there that I had done, I did it with a duplicolor metal cast shadow, and I didn't know that it was just going to make it so dull. I thought it would just kind of darken the chrome a little bit. Now the light has a hard time bouncing off of the housing, and it's not that bright. So the projector is nice. The projector works just fine. What I would do is I would take that off, I'd paint it with chrome, and then I would do duplicolor metal cast yellow. This mess is literally just going to stay here. I'm going to close the hood and whatever else, but the bumper's staying off, the intercooler's staying off. I'm not going to drive it until I can really figure out whether they will or will not send me or replace this faulty part. So yeah, that's that. So it didn't work out, which is great, I guess. Not really. Hopefully I'll have something more interesting soon to film. I am going to get a new set of wheels, a bigger set of wheels. The fenders will have to be rolled. They're going to poke out just a tiny bit there, so I think that'll wind up looking really nice. So that is soon to come. So I'm going to clean up a little bit of this stuff, like those tools on the floor, and I'm going to start editing this, and I'll be back next week with something.